So go up to Tennessee. They have like quarter comics.
We have quarter bins and methamphetamines. You do some meth, you can look for comics for a long time.
Jesus Christ! Oh my God!
I'm in such a
What did I
fucking
walk
mood, dude.
into?
This is the show. This is the. So I just want to say thank you very much to all of our viewers. This is obviously our last show, and
reminder: this is TVMA, and this is why we have to throw this graphic up pretty often.
Not Near Mint is a show designed for audiences over the age of 18. If you're a viewer under the age of 18, please stop watching Not Near Mint. It's not that we don't want you as a fan. It's just that we'll probably get in trouble if you watch us.
Yeah.
Shall we begin? Let's begin.
Hey everybody, it is July the 15th, 2020. It's Wednesday, New Comic Book Wednesday. If this is your first time watching Not Near Mint, well, this is the show for you if you like comic books. About a year ago, we had a Rina Brown. If you don't know who she is, she wrote a book called Isle of the Dark. We will be having her here tonight along with a certain person that you all know by the name of Life2YouTubers. I almost was going to say her name first, which is Sharon Brown, her mother. So they have been great people here in the community, and we're going to have them both on here tonight. And that is just some of our breaking news that we do have here. Let's see if I can throw that up on the screen, because I always forget where I put things. So yes, they're both going to be here tonight. Also, Lady Fantastic and this channel, I'm not going to say myself, but this channel, Not Near Mint, wound up having 500 subscribers. This is huge for us. So look forward to seeing a giveaway from herself and myself. She already posted something up on her YouTube earlier today, so do check that video out. Also, J Monty Comics on Instagram sent me out a package. I got it right here. I'm going to open that up a little bit later today on the show. Let's see. Also, Marvel releases Fuck You covers. Yes, I did say that right. Fuck You covers. They're blank covers that say we still release things on Wednesday. Because why? We'll get on with that later tonight. Otherwise, a new Catwoman appears. We also have The Return of the King. Null is coming in December. Also, Taint. Virus, I mean. No, I meant Taint. Taint's first appearance in Venom number 26 this week. Also, Death Metal 2, Hall's new comic book day, comic books' most powerful weapons, discussion on Rina releasing books after Rona. All this on more on a brand new episode of Not Near Mint, episode 47. Now let's go ahead and bring on in the person that also has 500 subs, and she got it first, Lady Fantastic.
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate the invitation. So, yeah, I actually did drop a video today. I basically just want to give back to the community. So I've got a 500 subs contest going on. There'll be a couple of prizes. I'm making you have to write. You're going to have to write me a haiku, basically. But the instructions are included within the video. Check it out. You'll get free stuff. All right. That's all I got to say. I hope everybody's doing well.
I watched the video. It's 6 minutes long, and she even gives you a demonstration on how to do it. It's not that hard to do a haiku. If Sokka can do it in Avatar The Last Airbender, I'm pretty sure y'all are just as savvy enough to do that at home.
What he said.
Something like that. Now, also, we're going to bring in Comics on the Mind.
Woo woo! What's up, you guys? Happy Wednesday. Hope everybody's doing well.
No, we're not dead.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Well, although there is some scamming outside, so if I just disappear during the show, it might be because A, I don't know what I'm doing and I accidentally click backwards, or a storm hit and you guys own the show now. Bye.
No, we're talking about thunderstorm here. What kind of storm we're talking about?
It's pretty bad. I walk the dog and I'm seeing it about 10 miles out west, and my knee is going out. It looks like the reverse of the end of the movie Usual Suspects, when Kaiser Soze starts walking all gimpy and then all of a sudden he walks totally fine. Instead, I'm the reverse. I'm walking normal until I'm limping along. Welcome to my world. And thank you all people that have been in the chat room waiting for us. Eduardo Escobar, Life with Two YouTubers, Miracleman, Mac Cave from Twitter. We have, well, actually, let's bring him on in. Miracleman, who asked him to be here today.
Hey, everybody. How you doing? Thanks for joining us tonight.
Hey, Discovery too.
Thanks for joining us on the show tonight. To everybody in the channel, Matt Cave, Eduardo Escobar, and everybody else who's joined us, thank you so very much. I really appreciate seeing you. And as always, Rob, Lady, and Comics on the Mind. Hey!
Always a good thing when we can finally pick up books for the week.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if we know that there actually are going to be books during the week. And tell me this. I don't know the answer to this. Is Marvel going to be releasing things weekly now, or is it still on this on and off schedule?
Who knows?
I think
the point of those Wednesday covers was hey, we're gonna be putting them out from here on out. If I recall correctly, it was supposed to be in July, third week of July. That was going to be regular, so that would be next week. Back to regular shipments from Marvel, which would be good. It'd be nice to see regular shipments from Marvel. I picked up some Marvel books today and went, "What the hell happened in the last time?" It's been a long time for some of these books, man. Been a long time.
Did you actually read anything?
I read a couple. I didn't. I still had a backlog from last week, so I was still working on some of the ones from last week. I did read. I did read. But not Marvel. I did read one Marvel and one DC and one indie. So
nice.
Comics, I read 3. Mine were Nightwing, the newest issue, because Punchline was on the cover, and I just wanted to find out what happened after the previous issue.
Right.
It was okay. I mean, well, Nightwing kind of smears some red blood on his face, so I'm sure that pop a little bit. And Batgirl gets her leg sliced. So
it's not her Achilles tendon, is it?
No, it's her thigh. It's pretty bad looking. It looks like she's down for the count. And I'm actually, for the first time in a very long time, I am curious to see what the hell's going to happen next in Nightwing. I can't believe I'm saying that.
And that connects into the Joker War, right?
That it does.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Well.
Because in this storyline, he is controlled by Joker. He has this little crystal that pretty much implanted in his mind that instead of Bruce Wayne raising him as a child, it's been the Joker all along. So he's laughing all along going, "No, I defeated the Joker. See, everything's fine and dandy." Yeah, you're weird.
Yeah. Yeah, is he still going by Rick?
Apparently not anymore. He says he remembers everything, but obviously he's remembering everything the way Joker wants him to remember.
Did you guys ever see, I'm going to date myself here, but you guys ever see that Saturday Night Live episode where it had Luke Perry on? And it was back in the days of Phil Hartman, because he did a show and he kept saying sassy throughout the show. Sassy.
Yeah, I don't think I remember
that one.
It was like a meme back before there were really memes.
Right. Well, Luke Perry played Ricky Schroeder. And if you remember, that was right when he had got on NYPD Blue. And, yo, what's up, Flashpoint? And every time they went, "Hey, Ricky," Luke Perry replied with, "It's Rick." That's what I thought of every single time I saw Nightwing go, "Rick."
Rick.
Like he just said it like a massive douche. You know what I mean? Anyway, sorry, total non sequitur.
No, I'm used to it by now. That's the way I think. So you do realize that before I asked any of you to come on this show, I watched you or listened to you or read what you've written enough to know it's like the guy thinks kind of like how I think. I gotta get him on this show.
Well, you know, well, 1/3 of all of our brains are made up of comic knowledge, so it's that's what does it right there.
You
That's what
combine
does it
them
right
all
there.
together, and we have a lot of knowledge. That's why we keep bringing on more people onto the show, because there's always a little bit that we don't know, and there's a whole lot to learn still, always. So here's the question of the day. What did you pick up this week? I know that Lady Fantastic got a whole bunch of books that she got AOK'd in from eBay.
Look at this lady over here.
Hold
I
on.
think we should start with you.
I put my thing onto it.
I put my thing up to it. I put my thing up to it. No, I didn't go, did it?
I'm just going to say okay.
Defenders King Size Annual.
Boom. In a 9.4.
Yeah.
#1.
That's beautiful, man. That's
I
beautiful.
love it.
That's beautiful.
John Byrne.
Oh, is that Annihilus cover?
Yeah, 256.
Oh, I love Annihilus.
Gorgeous. I'm not an FF person, but that is a beautiful book, and I absolutely want one.
Drawn and written by the John Byrne.
It's too bad he's such a douche now.
Yeah, he's a douche.
Look at my boy, Greg Graham.
My son told me that
These were gifts from Steven Spock.
Oh,
Wow.
that was nice.
Those are some nice gifts. Those are some nice gifts right there.
I hooked him up with Reflection.
Beautiful.
So all he does now is collect Reflection comics, and what basically I do is I forage for him.
Nice.
So I'm his eyes and ears in Tennessee, and I'm going to show you some other stuff that I got recently. This was part of an AOK from Rob. This is the first cover appearance of Tate.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
That's a cool cover.
Taint, aka Aspirus. Yeah. The cool thing about it is it's Greg Horn. Yeah, I was like Greg Horn, it's Greg Horn. So that's pretty wicked. And then this, man, I think this is now the oldest comic that I have. And I ordered a bunch of Fantastic Fours, like Bronze Age Fantastic Fours from this guy on eBay. And he sent this as an extra bonus book. And it's Treasure Chest of Fun and Facts, number 19.
Ooh.
But look at the beautiful.
That's gorgeous.
Really, really.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
That's a pretty
detail.
buffalo.
And look how big the stamp is, the fucking Puritans.
Right.
Isn't that great, though?
That's great, man.
It's a
That's
great
great.
cover.
Hot damn. So, anyways, also, this is one of the things that I got. Been on a Brother Voodoo kind of thing, and I may have shown this last week. I don't know. But I got 172, right?
Nice. Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh,
Then, yeah, so Strange Tales 172, Brother Voodoo.
Pretty.
Yeah, then I also picked up Adventure into Fear, number 12, and it's also got Brother Voodoo there.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yeah. This cop saying he's going to blast them both. He's so full of crap. So anyways.
Forget that po.
So those are the ones that I'm going to show you for now. And the other ones I just kind of want to show for shits and giggles and maybe for weapons. Oh, it's backwards. No, okay, that's double-sided.
But not giggles and shits, right?
No.
Okay.
No giggles and shit.
That would be ridiculous.
That's that's putting the horse before the cart.
The cart before the oh yes. Well done. Well played, lady. Well played.
The cart before the I'm confused.
Touche. Yeah.
It's kind of like don't jump a gift shark in the mouth.
Right.
So Eduardo, I'm very specific on the DC I do collect. I have some Bronze Age DC that I'm very proud of, and I can showcase them sometime. But they consist of mostly Jack Kirby stuff.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
No, there's not. And also Spectre, the Spectre, like Weird Adventures, Spectre Run. and yeah, that. So, and the Spectre actual first volume, not the showcase. I don't have that. I'd like to, but you know, whatever. I do have Batman, but I was thinking, honestly, about doing like a DC liquidation and just getting down to the bare DCs that I want, which are like the Swamp Things and the Mr. Miracles and like the OMAC and Sandman and Black Magic, that shit. Am I talking to you?
No,
never.
I mean, if you see back here, I had 9 boxes, and right now there are, well, one of them's empty, but there's 4 left because Jay Blitz came to take most all of them. He paid $400 for them all. I'm like, just get them out of here because I'd rather have more room for the stuff that's good than, you know,
Everybody
stuff that
wins,
I'm going to just
dude.
go, well, I'm never going to read that.
Right.
Everybody wins.
Let it go to
But yeah, I don't know what were we talking about.
Comics.
We're talking about you getting a liquidation sale so you can get just the DCs that you want.
Yeah, I need to have a DC liquidation because, and like, honestly, okay, yeah, I love the Spectre, old school. So Sharon, I need to talk to because I have like a crazy ass run of Batmans, but even crazier of detectives.
What's up, Sam?
Sad thing is, you have all this Spectre. I only really have this, and every time you show those new covers, I'm like, oh god, I got to start working on.
Do you want me to go grab mine? Go to somebody else, and I'll go grab my chunks.
All right.
Fuck it. Go to
Her
somebody
chunks.
else, and I'm gonna grab my shit.
How about Comics in the Mind? Did you get anything? Anything?
I didn't. No, I picked my pool today. Just want to give a shout out to Sam. What's up, Sam? The BS show was awesome earlier. I appreciate that. You and Bueller are hilarious. But yeah, I got these are the books that I got this week. Death Metal, which I'm still very confused about, and I'm hoping this will
everybody.
The best Jeff Lemire that I'm reading right now, Family Tree, so awesome. If you're not reading this,
Nice.
pick this up in trade because it's really good. And Miracleman talking about books we haven't read in a minute, like this. I was surprised to see this, Guardians of the Galaxy #4, which I started reading like months ago, and now it's back on track.
I don't know what's going on in that story, and I read it.
I have to reread it. I forgot what was going on too. I got Spider Woman. I wanted the incentive, that 1 in 50 incentive cover, but I couldn't. They didn't have it. But I got the Zombo variant. I got the giant size X-Men with Mr. Magneto on there.
Nice.
Once in Future, which I am very much so enjoying. The story's been great. Now they threw Merlin into the mix and Beowulf. So I don't know if you read the last episode, the last issue. Man, Beowulf was ripping off cars, the tops of cars. Great. And another series, Avengers, that I'm finally caught up on. I can't wait to read because Moon Knight just literally took out all the Avengers. And then last but not least, the newest Venom with what's his name? Tank? Mr. Tank?
Legit, that character's name is Taint.
I am not ever going to call him by his real name.
That's jacked up right there.
The virus dude. That's all I'm gonna call him, the virus dude.
Motherfucking Taint, and that's why we have a TVMA going on down here in the background. If you ever want to know why we have this little graphic here, that's the reason why.
Not Near Mint is a show designed for audiences over the age of 18. If you are under the age of 18, please stop watching Not Near Mint. It's not that we don't want you as a fan. It's just that you're probably going to get us in trouble.
Probably. Back to you, Comments on the Mind.
Oh, I'm done. That's all the books that I picked up this week. I have an AOK coming in the mail, but it's not here yet. What's up, Patrick?
I think that means it's my turn, right?
It's your turn. Let's see Lady Fantastic
Lady.
Spectre from Adventure.
Lady, show us those adventures.
Look, I'm gonna show you what, like, I basically will hold on to These are the only DCs that I care about. Honestly. Spectre number 3. This is Neil Adams.
With Wildcat too, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Let's see.
I hate you so much for owning that.
Spectre number 8.
Oh, that's a great cover.
That's a great cover.
I can't remember the artist, but it's not Adams.
Is that Andrew?
Maybe. That sounds maybe familiar, but it's not Adams or Wrightson. This is Wrightson. Spectre number 9.
Very nice.
And this is the last Wrightson of the series. And then Spectre number 10 is the final. And I can't remember who drew this.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Cool.
I know.
Look at that trade dress too, man. Like that's just
and then
it's awesome.
Secret Origins number 5 of the Spectre.
Nice.
Yeah. And then so I have Adventures 427. This is not Spectre, but I found it for a crazy good deal and it's in super nice shape, so I had to get it. You understand.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna show one of those later.
Yep. This is 434.
Very cool.
Yep.
Nice.
I love that. That's a reflection cover there too.
Yeah, but Steven Spot can't have this one unless I get an extra one. It takes precedence. 436.
That's cool with the Leviathan.
Yeah,
awesome.
These are some killer Jim Aparos.
Yeah.
This is 437.
Another great one.
Yeah. This is
Aparo does like 10 covers, right? Like 8.
Yeah, I mean, he basically, I think he does almost all of them.
Yeah, I think except for like 2 or 3.
Yeah, 439.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. And then, like, I have just another small little chunk of, like, this is what I give a fuck about on DC, okay? I'm just going to say, all right? So, this is all I care about, all right?
You got some Firestorm?
Noise.
No.
That's what I care about.
Thing 2. These are Bernie Wrightson Swamp Thing 5.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's next on the list.
Classic cover, man. Classic
Swamp
cover.
Thing 6.
Very nice.
Swamp Thing 8.
It's such a good horror title, but it doesn't overwhelm you with it being a horror title.
Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
Is that the last Wrightson? No.
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
With the
Thing 11 or 12.
Yeah,
Issue
you're right.
10, he didn't want to work on anything after that because he hated the colorist.
Right.
Coloring.
Phantom Stranger 13. Neil Adams, like classic.
Nice.
Yeah. Black Magic number 1. Kirby.
Love it.
Reprint.
Ooh, that's great.
Oh, girl. You don't even know. OMAC number 1.
So white too, dude. Those are never white. They're always yellow.
Hard to find them.
Hard
Yeah.
to find a white.
OMAC number
Right.
5.
Very pretty.
Now I'm going to show you New Gods that number 10 that was supposed to be white.
Yeah, they're all like that.
See the difference?
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks
I
more
know.
like a Forever People one.
Mine too.
Jimmy Olsen, 139 with Rickles. 141 with Rickles.
So crazy. They had not 1, but 2 issues back to back with Don Rickles.
This is some Jimmy Olsen. I don't think this is Kirby. Actually, it's not. I know it's not. After saying I thought it was, but whatever. And so this is 161. Yeah, 161.
Gotta love those bell bottoms, baby.
I know they're looking good.
All right.
And this is
Sharp.
for sure cover. Sandman number 1. All right. This is where Kirby and I'll always be DC. Miracleman number 3.
Mr. Miracle, but close enough.
Shit, I'm sorry, Mr. Miracle. Just like when I did another video and it was like Spider-Man and somebody, I said it was Superman and somebody. I don't.
Happens.
My
No, that's the
brain,
episode I was on with you. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I said Defenders 1 instead of King Size Defenders, because or King Size Annual, because I'm a tard. I'm dumb. Mr. Miracle number 7.
Love it.
I do too.
Love it. You got the Forger issue?
Huh?
You got the Forger issue? Isn't the Forger issue next? 8?
I don't have it. I jumped to 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hyman. Nice.
I hate it.
We'll call him Himon.
Oh, I see.
Number 11. And
It's another great cover.
number 12.
There's no bad Mr. Miracle covers.
No.
There's none. There's no bad Mr. Miracle covers.
Until it becomes another artist.
Right.
Number 13.
Well, that's because the series ends and they bring it back like 4 years later.
That's true, actually.
That's why.
Number 16.
Shiloh. Nice.
Yeah.
Giant Shiloh head.
Yeah. And finally, number 18 is the last one I have.
That's the last Kirby issue.
Yeah. Because I have other Kirby's, but I have other Mr. Miracles from this run, but they're not the Kirby's.
Right.
So, anyways.
And they are far inferior.
Yeah.
No offense to that creative team, but you're going up against Jack Kirby. I mean, you got to be God basically to be better.
Yeah. So I'm sorry for that, but Eduardo, that was your fault. Basically saying that I did not do DC. I do DC, but in a very select manner, very Kirby centric, if you can tell. So
we lost Comics on the Mind. His computer's restarting, but we do have in the background. They can let us know by sending a little private chat if they want to come on now, or if they're still getting ready. But if you want to go, Miracle Man, it is your turn.
I'm gonna go because I got some comics this week, guys. I don't know. I did something very unusual, and I bought a bunch of comics.
No. It's not like you.
Very unlike me. I think my friends joining us tonight from the Twitterati universe. First of all, thank you everybody for joining us tonight. Again, I appreciate you coming on to watch us. And for everybody who comes by and watches us later, I appreciate that as well. And for those 2 or 3 people that always show up and downvote, hey, just want to let you know, still counts as views. So appreciate that. Downvote your heart out. To Matt Cave and Ed, thank you very much. A very special thank you for joining us and coming over and seeing us tonight. Really appreciate it. Ed, you've been coming here a lot last several weeks. I think, Mac, this is your first time joining us, but thank you very much. First up, this is not my book. All right, I'm going to just say that flat out, not my book. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do the new books first. I think the person whose book this is knows whose book it is. And yeah, buddy, that one's yours. She's very pretty. She's very pretty. Next up, Savage Dragon 250, baby. Got that beautiful Walt Simonson cover. A little disappointed because it's not a book length. It's not a book length Savage Dragon story. It's a normal Savage Dragon story than a bunch of other characters in their own story, separate from the Savage Dragon story. So I was a little disappointed by that, but hey, still 250. FCBD X-Men #1. This is supposed to start some kind of Dark Age storyline. I haven't got a chance to read it yet, but that's what's supposed to be. Giant size X-Men Magneto. And then I caught up, and then I ran out of bags and boards, but I got my Dark Metal right there. Had to get that Lobo cover, man. Just look at that. How do you not get the main man? The regular cover's great, but this one I had to do it. Here's a real disturbing cover. Year 0, number 3. What a nice family having a picnic. Little cutie there playing with her foot. Even littler cutie looking over at the zombie burning through the park. This is issue 3. I've enjoyed it. It's a different type of premise. basically they're doing like 5 or 6 different characters, and they're jumping all around the world to follow them. So everybody's dealing with the zombie plague differently. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, right, Mac. Justice League 49. I swear to God, we just got Justice League last week. Did we just get Justice League last week?
Feels like it.
Yeah. Yes, we did.
It's too much.
I didn't even buy it.
It's too much Justice League, guys. Slow it down, DC. Slow it down. Strange Adventures number 3. I always get this wrong. King, Mitch, and Doc Shaner. How do you go wrong with that? Listen, here's the thing I like about Tom King books. If you give Tom King a book where he's going to get the opportunity to discuss something like PTSD or the struggle with returning from war, or coming back and trying to enter the real world. This is a guy who actually lived through it. I know there's people who've got mixed feelings on him, and I totally understand that. But I think something that comics have sorely missed is a voice from somebody who's lived through that experience and who has the ability to craft a tale. And Tom has both of those things.
Oh my God, dude! Just speaking, have you read Vision?
I have not.
The Vision series. So coming from the Marvel side, that man is so introspective.
I've heard.
In terms of, basically with the Vision family, they're all robots,
right?
And they're like their main mission is to be more human.
Right.
But because they're perfect, they recognize that to be more human is to be terribly fallible. And so they end up doing that and fucking their shit up. And it's so great. And it's very Shakespearean. Anyways.
It's a story. A lot of people have told me about it. I'm probably going to try and hunt it down in trades. Because from what I understand, it's super low print runs.
Okay. I'm trying to work on putting together a set myself, but before I even started working on it, I just bought the hardcover. I've been looking to give you something. I just couldn't figure out. Now I know.
You don't have to give me anything. You don't have to give me. I mean, you'd like to. It's very nice of you. I appreciate that. That's very kind.
For me, it's just going to be another hardcover. If I'm already having the books, why am I going to have 2? That's why I'm giving Lady Fantastic, like all my my Batmans, and then Kirk, all of my X-Men's, because I have the doubles of the. Why am I going to have doubles?
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I would. It would be well appreciated. I would definitely read it without a doubt.
It's a fast read.
I've always wanted to read it.
That's awesome.
Now, that being said, I cannot recommend Omega Men by Tom King. That one's a little rough. When you get to like the second to last issue, you kind of see Tom King's writing, but before that, it's a rough issue. It's a rough series. Didn't last long, like 10 issues. Spider-Woman number 2 variant cover there. I don't know, man. I've always dug Spider-Woman's every Spider-Woman costume there's been, I've dug them. I've loved every costume. The character, but the costumes I love every time. And we got Immortal Hulk 35. How do you pass up a good Alex Ross cover, man? I mean,
I just got the Fuck You cover.
My Avengers. Yeah, I know you did, and I was like, we'll talk about it later. Avengers number 34, part 2 of Khonshu. The Age of Khonshu. This one I haven't seen a lot of people talk about yet. Transformers 84, Secrets and Lies. So I'm going to tell you all about this one real fast, because we all know I have a tendency to pontificate, and I got a shit ton of books to show y'all.
Oh, yeah.
But short version, this is the original Transformers series. This is a story inserted into the original Transformers series. And it tells you a whole bunch of stuff. Hey, Jay Money. It tells you a whole bunch of stuff that you never knew about the original 84 series. A whole bunch of stuff that was hidden in the background. It's really a fun little read. I can't recommend it enough if you love the original Transformers, or if you're a Transformers fan in general. Definitely go out and pick it up. There was a Zero or an FCBD last year, or something like that, and now it's out. Another FCBD book, actually. Captain Canuck Beyond and Captain Battle. This is from Chapter House. They do the Captain Canuck books every year. My shop had like 10 FCBD books out today. There's another one of them. Power Rangers: The Road to Ranger Slayer. Now, as everybody knows, I'm not a big Power Rangers fan, but you know, it looked like an interesting little premise. Give it a shot. Take a look. All right, I think the rest I have here are a little bit back. Yeah, those are a little bit back issues. All right. So now, oh wait, here we go. Savage Dragon 215. Now I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been doing pretty good on the Savage Dragons lately. I think we've all seen that.
For a reminder of those people that have not watched this show before, these Savage Dragons are super low print runs. So with that being said, go right ahead.
If you can get your hands on Savage Dragons, guys, get Savage Dragons. If you're looking at anything about 75 and 200, they're pretty tough, man. We were looking last week. There's one issue with an under 3,000 print run and another issue with an under 3,500 print run, right in the 180s. Super low print runs. The rest aren't very
The
big.
Key Collector App just had a new section where they say most of those in the late hundreds, early 200s do not even register on the top 300s.
Right. They're real low, guys. And you know what? I'm a big Kirby guy. Eric Larson, Savage Dragon is a Kirby book. I mean, it's not, but it's Larson doing Kirby in his way. And it's chock full of superheroes. I don't know if you can tell, but it's also got a lot of wedgies. And let's be honest, nobody dislikes a good wedgie. All right.
Except Walmart.
Now we're gonna get into a couple of back issues, guys. I'm gonna go pretty quick on those because I did luck out and get a few.
Yeah, and we have people in the waiting room.
And we got people in the waiting room. So I'm gonna be a quickie McLicky over here. That sounded filthy. So I'm gonna skip around a little bit. First of all, got another copy of the first appearance of Checkmate there. Plus, it's just a cool ass cover. It's Byrne, Kupperberg, and Templeton. Great book. Adventure Comics 477 here. I've been trying to finish those off. I think I got like 2 or 3 of those left. We're going to skip ahead of those. We're going to skip ahead of these. Oh, look. Remember what I told you I got last week? There's another one. Batman 436. There's a $1 pickup. Batman 713. That's the final issue of the original run. This one is kind of tough to come by, guys. I really lucked out finding it. And look, it's all the bat-ish people. You know, all those badish people.
It's everyone.
It's all the badish people. Birds of Prey 127. That's another final issue right there. Original Birds of Prey run. I got 2 more issues I need out of that whole series. Another final issue, Claw the Unconquered, number 12. That's just a cool book, man. Look at that Kubert art. JSA Strange Adventures. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that.
Yeah.
That's
Is that
gorgeous.
Ross?
No, I'm not even sure who it is, but it's not Ross, but it is just a beautiful cover. I am JSA starved, man. I am JSA starved. Another last issue, Nightwing number 153. That's another $1 pickup there.
Tell us the significance.
The last issue?
Oh, is it? Oh, sorry. I didn't.
Yeah. You know me, first and last, man.
No, sorry. I didn't even hear you
it's
say
okay.
that or paid attention.
Oh, well, you know, one or the other. It's fine. No worries. Superman number 281 here. Guys, this is the first appearance of Vartox.
I like the angle.
If you're a Superman fan at all, the original Vartox character is absolutely ridiculous. You can see why. I don't think I really need to say much more beyond that. So that was pretty funny. Wonder Woman 260. You know, these Wonder Woman books, some of them are also in regards to the time period. Okay, we're not talking modern here, but they're still pretty low print runs for books at the time. So if you get your hands on some of those Wonder Womans, man, grab them up because they're not. Some of them are not very common. Okay, we also got. Ooh, this is a good one, guys. Avengers Annual number 10.
Oh yeah, you showed me that. Oh, cool.
First Rogue. Gotta love it. Also got my hands on another Alpha Flight 33. That's the First Lady Deathstrike. That was only a 50-cent pickup.
That's very cool.
Cable and Deadpool number 43. This is a Scotty Young, guys. Scotty Young doing Sinkovich, it looks like, right?
Mhm.
So it looks like.
10 years old.
And according to our friend Mr. Worst, this is the first appearance of Hydra Bob.
Hydra Bob.
Hydra Bob. I haven't read it yet. I won't lie, my son likes Deadpool. That's why I grabbed it. Then we picked up the Gargoyle run. That's a gorgeous Wrightson cover too, man. Look at that.
Oh, fuck yeah, I have that run.
1,
I love it.
2,
That's Sinkovich.
3,
Don't know who that is.
4. Here's another $1 pickup.
Nugget.
God.
Hulk
How
number
much did you get that for?
$1.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, that was a good pickup right there. That was a good pickup. It's a hot book right now. People like it. Jack of Hearts number 1. Dude, how do you not love? Listen, I don't care if I ever read this. Look at this crazy cover. Who would not love that? Who would not love that?
Brian
I got
Michael Bendis in issue 500 of Avengers.
What's that?
That's who doesn't like it.
Oh,
You said who doesn't like it? Bendis in Avengers 500 when he had him blown up by frickin' Vision.
well, he's a special kind of fella. Legion of Monsters, Satana.
That's crazy cool, dude.
Right? That's a cool ass cover right there.
Who did that?
I'm not even sure, man. That's Hickman is the writer. Artist is
Looks like
It's-
Warren.
Land Liston.
Oh, is it Greg Land?
It's
has that
very
form.
plausible. Yeah, that's Greg Land.
Yeah. There you go. Gorgeous, right?
Yeah.
And then I also got Moon Knight number 18. This is a gorgeous wrap. I'm not going to take it all out because we got, we're kind of running out of time here. But I got a couple more I want to show real fast before we get on to our guest here. First of all, this was my happiest grab of the week. I was very, very pleased. And I got some good grabs this week, right, guys?
Yeah.
I got a full run of 2001, A Space Odyssey. All
Particularly, you got the first appearance of 3, 2, 1.
Machine Man.
almost there. Almost there. There he
There.
is. All 10 issues for $25.
Nice. Worth
$25.
it.
Absolutely worth it. That means that 2001 A Space Odyssey number 8 is a $25 book. Easily.
Yeah.
Then, something kind of funky here, guys. Something kind of funky. I got some Spire Christian comics. But I got them because they're the Archie ones.
Because Jesus.
Al Hartley, longtime artist for Archie, got hired by Spire to make Christian comics. He went back to Archie and said, "Hey, Archie, can I use Archie characters to make Christian comics?" And Archie, being a good, wholesome company, said, "Sure." So he made a bunch of them. There's all kinds of printings. The only really difference you can tell is price. 39 cents, I believe, is the second or third printing of these books. Then I got G.I. Joe number 1B. Because Snake Eyes. I know a lot of people talk about Snake Eyes book today. That's the Snake Eyes book I wanted.
Isn't this a Rob Liefeld book?
That's not. That's that's the one that came out today. This is the IDW book that came out when the book came out, or the movie came out, The Rise of Cobra.
Ah, okay.
Here's another one from Arden Publishing. Arden Publishing's biggest claim to fame is they reprinted the Atlas Seaboard characters in the early 2010s. They went out of business shortly after that. A couple of the guys who worked there are now working for Scout Comics, or running Scout Comics. But Heroes of the North, guys, there's a YouTube series on this. I highly recommend you look it up. Heroes of the North is like a really low budget TV show, but basically their first character is like Canadian Captain America. He has a shield and everything. He's fighting in World War II. It was fun to watch though. And then last 3 books. Oz Squad. And I'm going to show. Oh wait, I lied to you. I'm sorry. I had a couple more. I'm the world's biggest liar today, and I apologize because I've been lying to you a lot tonight. Okay. First, TMNT number 22 from the original run. I'm going to show you something y'all have never seen. A gold key book that doesn't look like somebody shat it out of their bum. Have you ever seen a gold key book that looked that clean?
No.
I've never seen one like that, right? I might get it slabbed just because I've never seen one like that. Never. This is the closest to a high grade book I've seen, and this is nowhere near as good. That Magnus right there. And oh, dude, I picked this up for $1. King Kong #2 from Monster Comics. Schultz, Mark Schultz cover. He of the Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, or Xenozoic Tales, depending on how old you are. And then last but not least, I'm just going to throw these out really, really fast because I know we've been running a long time. I picked up a few more Milestone comics. Long Hot Summer, #1, 2, and 3. All 3 of them.
Easy to find.
Shadow Cabinet ran 17 issues. Here's number 12, number 13, number 14, number 15, and number 16. One issue till the end. What's that? I didn't get 17.
You'll find.
But here's what I did find.
I'm sure.
Final issue. Icon number 42.
God damn it.
Now, I'm going to tell you right now, this is a real high-grade copy. And I got this bad boy for 50 cents. If you go and look that one up on eBay right now, I hands down guarantee you're going to see that listed for around $50-$60. Yeah. At least.
We're taking bids. And this is how an auction works. No, we're not.
And that's it. I appreciate everybody's tolerance of my comic collecting of the week.
Well, in that case, I want to bring in, it's not Comics on the Mind. I hope his computer is still restarting. But just as I promised at the very beginning of the show, we do have 2 very special guests, and their names are LifeWith2YouTubers and Rina Brown. Wow, Randall.
Woo! Hi.
Hi.
Stop.
Maybe.
This is what happens when you
Hi,
create
guys.
thumbnails.
There they are.
You're just trying to reenact your thumbnail.
This is what
I
happens.
mean, since I had the gauntlet before, so yeah. How are
Yeah,
you guys?
people were saying when I made that little banner that, I don't know, it looks like the person in the hat is about to lose. I'm like, I don't know. The woman that has Null's sword and the Infinity Gauntlet and Green Lantern's it looks like she's holding her own against all of that.
How are you guys this evening? Can you hear us?
I'm doing great, just so you know. Nobody else spoke up, so I'm just going to speak for myself and say I'm doing great. Rob looks like he's doing A-okay. And Lady, let's be honest, Lady never has a bad day.
Well, she shouldn't ever have a bad day.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Definitely not.
How are you ladies tonight?
We're very well, thank
Pretty
you.
good.
How are you?
I don't know. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. Are you doing pretty good?
Yeah, all right. Hey, how about we get on to doing an interview?
I'm good with that.
Segue.
I mean, considering that it's been almost a year, and for those in the chat that aren't very aware, way back in the day when I was doing this channel, when it was just myself, I was sitting in a parking lot wondering, how do I grow this show? It's just me, and I feel like an idiot just going, look at this book I got this week, and look at this book I got this week. And I still haven't even done what's in the briefcase yet. And I'm not going to do it. But I will show you those books later on towards the end, those fuck you Marvel things. But way back when you started doing when I started doing this, I wrote you a text, and that's when you said, hey, maybe we should invite on Lady Fantastic. So it was the 4 of us, and we were asking questions way back when you first put out the book. It was in the make. You didn't have it released yet. But now here we are, almost a year later. The book has been released, and we want to find out how that's been. So the first thing I want to know is, what has been your experience before and after the coronavirus hitting in releasing and promoting and interviews? What's that been like? Have you felt that kind of those complications? And what's going through your mind today?
I did also want to throw out a quick sidebar that you were also my first live show ever, so it's really nice to be back almost a year later. So thank you. Okay, so Corona was kind of
Killer.
it was a little bit of a killer, but that initial launch was also kind of like a blessing in disguise, just a little, because when the book launched on my birthday, we were going to go to our LCS, and he had agreed to do Kirk's back, baby.
Sorry. Continue.
We were going to go to our LCS, and we were going to and he was going to split on consignment for all sales of the book. We were going to have like a table set up with a bunch of books spread out, everything, whole nine. And then COVID hit literally like the week before. So instead, we hosted it here, right here in this lovely space. But I feel like that was better because it allowed for everybody online to join us, because it's not like we could have all of you fly out to Colorado to see the launch, but instead we had it here to where everybody could see. I feel like that was a lot better. As far as everything after has gone, it hasn't been too bad. I just sent out everybody's books. I would message them and say like, hey, do you want me to send this now, or would you rather me send it later? Majority of people were just like, no, send it on over. I've actually gotten into 4 bookstores now. 5 is pending. She just wants to look at the book first. And I have been able to go and meet Caroline had the right idea. I've been able to go and meet, what would you say, 3 of them? There's a couple that are a little too far away that I haven't been able to go and see personally, but there have been a few that I've been able to go and talk to, and we've exchanged business cards and gotten consignment and wholesaling done. So COVID definitely has slowed things down as far as, bookstores are like closed or moving or dealing with stuff. But it hasn't been too bad as far as book sales have gone.
It's been a challenge because the people that you go in and get to physically see, and they get to see her little shiny face, they buy the books without a problem. It's a lot easier to be turned down via email. So it's a lot easier for people to say, oh, well, sorry, no. But if she gets to go in and talk to them,
or
then, then they'll support her. So COVID has definitely affected that.
A little bit, because I've asked people if I can go and if I can see them, and they're like, well, not right now. Contact us again, in a few months. So I just have like this listing of people that I need to recontact at the end of summer. So...
Well, I also noticed that you both do a show where Sharon is in the background and you're the one conducting it on Life with2YouTubers channel. It's the Isle of series. You do interviews every week with people from parts of the comic community, the pop community, funk, everybody that's part of our nerddom here. So what was the birth of that? Could you give us some clarity on that?
What was the birth of
that? Was me.
I don't remember.
Because Rina is a very quiet young lady. She's very, very quiet. So before even the book launch, I wanted her to be comfortable with talking to people, because she's going to be doing book signings. She's going to be talking to strangers.
Bookstore
and
people.
I wanted her to have a level of comfort inside our home where I could shelter her and keep her kind of safe, but at the same time get her familiar with being in front of the camera, have her talking to people that she's never met before, get her outside of her comfort zone while still being within her comfort zone. So I reached out to some of the members in the comic community, and John was our very first guest, and he was amazingly supportive. and we came up with a topic and ended up talking about a completely different
We ended up
topic.
talking about movies all night, but I mean,
but it was a lot of fun, and everyone in the community has just been so loving and so supportive and so wonderful. And we have no shortage of guests, and we are just truly honored to have everyone's love and support that we have had. It's been so much fun, and I think a really great comfortable thing for you.
it's weird to think about that in November we will hit our 1-year anniversary of doing our own YouTube live show.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think about that it's only a few months away.
Yeah,
I'm like,
time flies.
so yeah, I'm shy. So that is how that came about. I had honestly forgotten that's what the evil plot was.
And I don't remember the shyness at all. I remember you talking about it, but the moment you came on the show, you opened up, you were funny, you were engaging, you were charming. Your mother was too. She made her first cameo appearance on the show. And look at her now. She's running shows, plural.
No, I'm still the background person. I am not
honestly,
comfortable on
I
screen.
just hide my insecurities with my humor. So I mean, there's
Yeah,
that as
we
well.
make quite the pair. Yeah.
And there's a very famous character by the name of Spider-Man that is still running to this day, doing the exact same thing. Humor.
Right.
Who's the Spider-Man you speak of?
Oh, he's back.
Sorry about that. I said, who's this Spider-Man you speak of? I'm not familiar.
I'm thinking Miles Morales.
Somebody.
But I'm also throwing up on the screen here. These are the links to Life with Two YouTubers, as well as Rina Brown's YouTube channels. If you haven't already, go and sub them both up. Now, what would you go ahead and tell yourself now you're a year out? If you could go back in time a year ago, after everything that you've learned, what would you go back and tell yourself? Especially, I'm sure there's now 19 people in the chat here live. What would you tell those people? What would you tell the replay viewers if they were planning on starting a book? What have you learned?
I'm trying to think.
You're the author.
Don't be so hesitant. I think that's the biggest thing. I had definitely taken a leap of faith when reaching out and contacting my publisher. But I think you can attest to this. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Help. The entire time I was like, I don't know how this works. It was kind of embarrassing because I had to tell my publisher that I'm not tech savvy at all. Computers hate me. I hate computers. It's kind of a mutual thing. I can't figure out social media to save my life. It's really bad because I'm supposed to be like, oh, you're the young generation. You grew up with smartphones and tablet. No. When I was a baby, we still had the landline phones. Okay, smartphones didn't come around until I was like 12.
Just today, I was busting her chops about.
She knows more so about social media than I do.
I'm like, dude, this is bad.
I can't figure it out. I can't. It's not in my skill set. This is why I write with pen and paper.
Well, you have a very brilliantly creative mind.
I'm not a tech savvy one.
And we make a good team because she's so brilliant and I'm the naggy,
you can
annoying
figure out all
mom
the
in
business
the background.
stuff.
Yeah, I'm just like poking her all the time.
But so that was part of my problem. I had to tell my publisher point blank, hey, I don't have a PayPal. I don't know how to set up a PayPal.
But he was great. He helped her.
Oh, absolutely. No,
He
they
was
helped me
wonderful.
throughout every step of the way. They helped me set up the website. It was amazing. But it's stuff like that where I'm really unsure of what to do. So my advice for my past self and for anybody else is don't overthink it and don't hesitate. Because if it doesn't end up working, then you know for the future just what not to do. And for me, it's really hard to think of, I don't want to make a mistake,
Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. I think that in a nutshell is, just if you've got that idea or you've got that spark, you need to stick to it. You need to put in the time and don't be afraid to put it out there.
Yeah.
Because the worst that can happen is people won't notice. But I mean, you've been very
tried.
fortunate.
Yeah.
You've been very fortunate. You've been very loved and very supported. So
And what's the worst that can happen if you ask them something? The worst they can say is no.
Right.
Exactly.
Go to the next one.
Which is an important part of the learning process. Being told no, being rejected, understanding how to overcome that, picking yourself up and then moving on. It can be hurtful, like that. The first time I got a thumb down on one of my videos, oh, dude, I was butthurt for like weeks. I was so upset. Oh my gosh.
That is all of us. All of us. Now we just say thanks for the view.
Bingo.
Exactly. Yes.
Yes. But you have to overcome those insecurities, and you need to be willing to put yourself out there and face the dark side and embrace the light side.
Very Jedi of you.
Yeah. Exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, dude.
Now, there is a question I do want to ask, and I'll throw this graphic up here on the screen. Now, I saw you talking about this on Instagram earlier in the week, and you sent it over to me. It's something called Wattpad. Now, what is Wattpad? And while you describe it, I'm going to throw the link up there on the screen. I'm going to throw it up there in the chat. So go ahead, tell everybody, what is Wattpad and what do you do?
So, Wattpad I discovered about 2 weeks ago. I was trying to find other platforms to be able to apply my writing skills and see if I could gain more followers and such and what forth. And what Wattpad is it's basically YouTube for authors, where it is just this collective of people, and if you create an account, you can click write whatever you want and post it up. And if you hashtag it and stuff like that, it just pops up in people's recommended feed. So it's literally just a writer's YouTube. So what I did is I started a new mini series on there, just kind of as a gaining followers and giving a free story out for people, because
it's about demo.
Okay, so it's about a character. I wasn't gonna he asked me what the platform was.
It's about Demo, a demon in heaven, and it's very awesome because he becomes a demon hunter, which is kind of a theme with you.
I know. Don't judge me. If it's any, I will throw this out as a disclaimer. The series is called Sinner. Sinner actually predates Isle of the Dark, and I think that's kind of part of where Ranger's origin comes from. Is you will fight the bad. You are a hunter. It's because Demo is a person who doesn't belong in this very celestial and holy place. And and
she'll talk for an hour if you let her. So I've created a monster.
That is the point of this show, content. And you talking at no end also means content. So keep going.
But so that's kind of what the application was. It's just a story that I am creating for everybody to be able to read and enjoy, because it's free. You can just click on the link and read it just for enjoyment.
And she uploads a new chapter every week. So she's on chapter 2 this week. So you get the introduction of the character and then a little bit of, what's
interaction
going on with his
stuff
story.
like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Now, we got a question here from Comics on the Mind, because I needed to resource pull some questions because it's been a long couple days here. The question that he has is, how do you get into creative mode before writing something new? And it kind of couples with the one that I had of, when you get something of a writer's block, you're sitting in front of the computer, where are you pulling resources?
Funny enough, I had actually just explained this to a neighbor the other day. So for me, I do it in a couple of different ways. I get very inspired with something that I associate with the story. So oftentimes it's music.
Music is big for you?
Yeah. I have a different song associated with different stories, and it's just, I can just see the characters and what they're doing and action sequences. So if I'm ever having a writer's block, I kind of listen to that associated song and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, this is the end point here. Now what do I do to transition from A to B? And if I literally can't dish out anything, like just the tap is run dry, sometimes I will just go ahead and I will take the same situation that my character is in and plug it into a new scenario completely. Did not mean to almost smack you. I'm sorry.
I'll never help you again.
So, and sometimes it just leads me into creating short stories that I focus on for a few days. And then I just go back to what I'm working on. It's just kind of taking a break. And for most people, it's just pushing it away completely, you know, going out and enjoying time with like family members or going out and doing things. It's just really taking a mental break and then coming back at it with fresh eyes.
And there's so much. It's not just writing.
No.
I mean, it is networking. It is trying to sell her book. It is
the work part
reading,
of it, yeah.
because reading is very important. You know, talking to people. That's why she just quit her job, because this is unbelievably time consuming. Unbelievably time consuming. It absorbs all of her time and a lot of my time. So it's a journey, and it's exciting and it's frightening, and you're gonna rock it.
I know. So that's, I guess that's kind of another aspect. If I hit a writer's block, I will go and I'll do all the work part of it for a little bit, get frustrated with all the business ends, all of it, and then just go back and write, because that's the easy part of everything.
I have a question.
Ooh, okay.
Have your dreams ever influenced your writing? Do your dreams influence your writing?
Yeah, actually a lot of them. The first one that comes off my head, just because it is literally inspired off of a dream I had, is a mini series that at some point in the future I would like to release. Maybe that's what I do after I do the Sinner series on Wattpad. I don't know. But it's called a story called Leafbound, and I literally dreamt what the basic premise of the book was. I had all the characters, I had the setting, I had what's going on in the story plot. And I woke up and I'm like, I need to write this down. And I actually wrote the first chapter out for you for Christmas as like a teaser as to what it was.
Oh.
So have you heard of like dream journaling?
Yes. I think
do you like have something next to your bed, and like when you wake up, do you like try to scribble it down as quickly as you can? I just know some people do that.
That is what this is for.
Sure. Fair enough. Yeah.
I actually, it's kind of funny because I have like a note keeper in my phone, if that makes sense, just to like remind you of stuff. Yeah. My note keeper is literally filled just with story scenes. Like if I just have two characters, I'm like, oh, these two people would go really well in this scenario. I'll just write out the scene, call it done, and flick it.
Don't let her fool you. She's got notebooks all over my house. There's notebooks in my kitchen. There's notebooks in my living room. There's notebooks in her bedroom. Notebooks in the bookcase.
You should see my bed.
Oh my
gosh, have a lineup of books.
Many notebooks. It's insane.
I have this old TV that I don't ever use anymore up there. I have a lineup of books next to TV. I have a lineup of books on my shelf. I have a stack of books and notebooks on my bed. It's kind of bad,
but it's so good because I mean, she's so creative. It's just a joy to see and
then give you one chapter and leave a cliffhanger.
And she's so mean. Okay, last Christmas she gave me three stories for Christmas, and every single one of them ends on a cliffhanger. One guy's about to die. One guy's about to like get eaten. I don't even remember now, but all three of them. No,
one of them is held
but it's
one's held at gunpoint. Yeah. That's the one she's mad about. Is there someone held at gunpoint? I haven't gone anywhere with it.
The art of storytelling. Always leave them hanging.
Yeah, I agree. That's some of the best stories.
So now, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
Well, now that you, I think you almost answered this question. Being that now we're almost about to go into possibly another lockdown in this country, but it seems like you're already writing ahead into the future. How do you feel about going and releasing something else into the future? Do you feel pumped? Do you still think that this is something that you're going to be doing? And where do you see just writing and publishing in the future? Do you think it's mostly going to be all digital? And is that still lucrative? And just how do you feel about the future?
This is definitely something I'm taking into my future. This is part of the reason why I stopped working at my retail job. I know everybody's like, oh my gosh, you're not working? What? No, it's I've traded one job for another.
And I am a mean boss. I am. I told her when we were talking about this, I said, I'm going to be 10 times meaner than your manager at your grocery store. And I think I have lived up.
No,
I have
you
lived
have
up to my reputation.
Well, and I wanted to give this a real effort because you had actually given me the idea of just taking a few months and seeing where I could go with it. And at first I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. I'm not going to be making any income, So I had tried to split it down to part-time to see if it was something that I can do half and half by pouring half of my week into working on book related stuff and then have my 3 days at work.
Well, plus guys, she's only 19. So remember, she wants to live and see her friends and maybe I don't know, go grab a burger or do things that 19-year-olds granted can't do so much anymore, but it's really tough to have a job and be an author and
be social.
Be a human being,
When I was doing the part-time thing, finding time to breathe was kind of nuts.
Well, and I told you to quit.
I know you did. It was my own fault. But so that's why I was like, okay, you know what? I'm done.
Moms can be right sometimes.
Just trying to help you.
Right. Well, and plus it doesn't help that, working in retail sucks.
It does.
Sorry. And, whereas this is my passion and I can sit down for 3 hours or 4 hours and just write something, and I'm not very good. Like I said, I'm not tech savvy. I'm not a good businesswoman, but she is. So this is why this is kind of how we work together.
Here's the thing, you guys. When we went to the very first book that picked Rina up, the first bookstore that picked her up, the lady said something that really spoke to me personally. And she said, why in the world would you go and give your heart and soul for somebody else? And why in the world would you spend all your time and energy making somebody else money? And that really spoke to me personally because my whole life I have worked for small companies, and my boss that I've been with for 10 years, she has 2 homes and she's very well to do, and we're kind of dirt poor. So I was like, oh my gosh, that's a really valid point. Why in the world should Rina be pouring her passion and her personality and her spark into
a grocery store?
Okay, really, Safeway doesn't deserve her. So
plus, just I could give you guys horror stories,
but she's not going to.
I was gonna say my last day of work was literally the worst epitome you can get. Understaffed, busy, getting yanked, got a Karen customer that night. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. It was your last day.
Somebody didn't want to wear a mask indoors.
No, I honestly don't have a problem with that. No, her problem was she said that she had back problems. And I get it. I have back problems. But she made me get all of her stuff. And then when I offered to help her out to her car, she looks at me point blank and says, no, I've got it. and then left. So I'm like, wait, so you had me get all of this heavy stuff for you, and now you're just going to tote it out and take it home as if nothing ever happened. And she, God, and just
the door hit you with a good Lord split it.
Exactly. But she doesn't have to worry about that. And now she can pour her heart and soul into her own passion.
Right.
Yeah. And she actually has a really exciting project coming up in October. Why don't you talk to them about that?
And I can actually say this now because he officially released it.
He officially announced it
So,
just
so
today.
now, so
Yes.
now I don't have to dance around it anymore.
Yes.
News.
You guys are lucky I'm 19 because all I see is your flash of 18 years or older. I'm like, ooh, just cut. So I am working with Mr. Lawrence Everett, and he is
King of comicdom.
Yes, he is in our comic book community. And he is an author himself. And while he is re-releasing some of his old books that he has done, he has also invited other people to come and write short stories for him. And he put it in a book called The Tales of the Strange and Weird. Metarog Roger is a part of this project as well as a few other authors from around the country.
Bunch of people. Mm-hmm.
And it is short fiction stories about legends in our area. So I actually did the famed Red Rocks Amphitheater because there's actually a ghost story around that. Who knew? So it has just been super inspiring to work with another author and know that there is a larger community out there of all of the other authors that can collab and write books together and have published their own works. I am now a part of 2 different author groups, and just getting to talk to these people and realize that they've had their own success and they have their own stories flittering around in their mind the same way I do. It's really inspiring, and I'm super grateful to be able to work on this project, and I'm really excited for when it releases in fall. So
right before Halloween, which is perfect because they're spooky stories.
Exactly.
So it's perfect.
And are you going to be still using the same cover artist? I think it was Jake Vuolo. Am I pronouncing that right?
Yes. Jake did the cover art for Isle of the Dark.
Yes.
But no, Jake is not involved in this particular project.
Lawrence
did his own art.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
For future books,
Sorry.
I was just going to ask, for future books, will you be using Jake for the whole run?
We don't know.
I haven't. I'm only like 60 pages into the next one. I don't have anything fleshed out yet.
Yeah, nothing is said.
So that when we wind up having a full run, is it going to be kind of like Harry Potter when you can get the full box set where it's new art and it has that uniformity? I'm thinking like ahead in the future.
Yeah, we'll see.
So, but no, it is definitely going to be like full box series, and I'm really excited. I lost kind of like my derailed train of thought.
No,
there.
You're good. You're good.
Derailed is what's the middle name of this show? So does anybody else have any questions here in the chat? Any of you guys, do you have anything so far?
Let's move it.
Because I know the discussion tonight is comic book weapons, and I'm going to nip that in the bud really quick. For DC is the anti-life equation, and for Marvel is the ultimate nullifier. There, we did it.
I got a question. If you could be any superhero, which superhero would you be?
Spider-Man, hands down. Done. Said and done.
Is there a reason that answer was so quick?
Yeah.
I think it's because I like not just Spider-Man in general. I like specifically Peter Parker's story, because you read about Batman and you read about Iron
Don't be
Man.
dissing my boy. Don't be dissing my boy.
About to see a war.
Hey, we have the weapons ready for this. So I mean, I when the stories made. No, you look at Batman, you look at Iron Man, and they're rich and they've made their own, gadgets and their suits, and they have things to make them who they are. You have like Thor, who's a god. You have, super genetically enhanced beings like X-Men, and but the thing that a lot of them don't touch on is their personal lives. You either have, your people who are already well off and it just focuses more on their superhero careers, or you have, those characters where it's just the superhero aspects, but some of their personal lives dabbled in. Whereas I think with Peter, I really appreciated his story because he was kind of one of your first characters that you ever saw who dealt with everyday problems. He has to pay rent. He's going to school. He tries to live some sort of a normal social life. And then being the witty superhero that he is, he has his bad days, and you see it in the comics when he's like really mad or he's sad or, whatever. But most of the time, he's cracking witty jokes. And I found that I really appreciated that, because no matter kind of what life threw at him, he always found light at the end of the tunnel, and I kind of like to believe in that sort of philosophy that no matter what's going on, not only do you have the kindness and decency toward other people, you can handle real life situations and throw a dollop of humor in there. You don't have to be, just focused on life all the time. You can enjoy it and enjoy the aspects of it.
That is an incredibly well thought out answer.
Very much so. Most writers
I've
would
liked Peter for a long time for that.
Clearly.
I was just going to say that most writers would focus on the bad, and you're doing the way that I would prefer writers would approach comics. The empathy, what's going on in their personal life, things that would give some gravity to make you actually care about these people. Because the older you get, you're probably going to wind up changing the way that you think. And that can change from by the time you're 20, by the time you're 40, by the time you're 60. And it's mostly empathy by finding a voice when you're young. I mean, we have Chris Claremont that started X-Men when he was 26 years old. We have Donny Cates that's still in his early 20s, and he's writing with the empathy and clarity of the human condition that I wouldn't suppose to find in somebody in their 40s or 50s. So you at a young age being able to do that, and you're thinking that far ahead, you're much further than many comic book artists, or rather writers, that I can even think of. So where do you find that kind of empathy? Where do you find that kind of voice? And how do you find your voices for characters?
Not me.
Empathy-wise, I would say it is. You've raised me to be the person I am. I would say that.
I just kind of nudged you along, honey. I mean, you are who you are because you are who you are. I just taught you to say please and thank you and not be a butt. And it...
Those are important lessons right there. Those are important lessons. My mom did not teach me to be a butt, and look at me now.
You can testify to this. Some of the words that I say to Kade on a regular basis, don't be a dick. That I actually say that to my 14-year-old.
Well, but see, I am. You just see him
lean over. She's like,
but see, it's that kind of thing that I appreciate, and I think that, especially because of the way that, you taught me empathy and how to look at situations, especially from when I got into retail. It wasn't me just being like, "Gah, people" all the time. I mean, that's about it, 90% of the time. But, to a certain degree, you can also see where a lot of people are coming from. Just by talking with people and creating a dialogue, you learn a lot about people, and you come to appreciate a lot of the people that come across in your lives. And I think that a lot of people don't have that. I will see people come in who are zeroed in on themselves and themselves only, and find other people talking to them a nuisance. That has happened recently. And it's just sad to see people behave in such a way. And I guess kind of trying to tie this back into writing characters, you can have your sarcastic characters, or you can have your hard-hearted characters, but I feel like should be an element in writing that shows why a character is the way they are, because in real life there's a reason why people are the way they are, and sometimes people are jerks, but I mean there's probably a reason for that, whether it's their upbringing or something going on in their lives, or it's just their personality, but there's always a reason behind it. And I try and live by, there's a reason for why someone behaves this way, whether it be upbringing or whatever. And I feel like that's also important to characterize characters in a story, because it's more real, I guess.
I completely agree with you.
Essentially, for all the best kinds of villains and bad guys, when you really think about real life, no one that's fairly sane ever thinks that they're the villain of their story.
Right.
I mean, when you look at American politics, around the world, politics, no one ever thinks that they're the bad guy. They're thinking they're doing the right thing. Now, if you look at it in any kind of story with a narrative, you can frame anybody as a good guy or bad guy. It just depends on what happened over the course of their life, where they put their shoes on that morning to go, well, I guess I'm going to go ahead and destroy the Justice League today. Well, why? Because I want to, and I'm a bad guy. No, that's
Exactly.
But if you wind up driving your car one day and the Flash winds up going, like light speed, clobbers your car, you live, you're hospitalized, your wife's dead, your children are dead, you want to get him. You're the bad guy. You're the hero of your own story. But that's empathy.
Isn't that the whole thing between Batman versus Superman? Batman thinks he's being the superhero because he saw so much death happen when Superman took
that's
place.
in that lame movie.
I mean, but it is an example.
The fact that you called that lame made me like you so much more. And I liked you already, but you nailed it on the head right there. I don't want to derail the conversation. But the fact,
at this point where we have the rule 1, don't die, but it's more or less rule 2, don't be a dick.
Right.
That it kind of lost community. And I only just created that now because you created that rule. Now rule number 2 is don't be a dick.
Well, I am the parent of the new genre, I suppose.
I hang my hat on you, man.
Hey, I'm not complaining.
Yeah, here she's all like, oh, my mom, she's so great. Oh, I'm so wonderful because of my mom. And I'm all, don't be a dick. Yeah, no.
But the thing is you're honest. You're not gonna throw shade. How like in cartoons you always have something bad that happens, and then you have the cliche mother walking by that covers her kid's eyes and walks off with them. That's not her. She's going to say, if it's something truly like gross or whatever, she's like, hey, don't look at that. But then she'll go, here's what's going on, and she'll explain it to where we understand, and and to where we'll be like, yeah, no, that's not good. I don't want to live my life that way, instead of just shielding from, oh, you don't have to worry about that, and oh, I'm gonna coddle over you, and then you end up with the rebellious teenager. Hi, kitten. So, and to which, I appreciate very greatly, I mean, maybe I'm just a weird kid, but I didn't ever want to, throw on black makeup, or I didn't want to go out to concerts, or I'm an antisocial pessimist, and I say it proudly, but
I'm an optimistic nihilist.
oh my goodness, kitten. Oh my goodness.
Charlie
Yeah, I
said,
think that's the other thing.
Cat is
Here's
the
another question.
hello, here's Charlie. He's our new boo.
That's the question. What's
Nice.
the kid's name?
No way.
Charles
Professor
Xavier.
X.
Yes, we named him Charles Xavier.
Nice.
Oh my goodness.
And he is Kade's cat to a T. Oh my gosh. We've had him
4 days. 5 days.
5 days. He follows Kade around. Kade just came into the kitchen, which is why Kitten came into the kitchen. So, yeah, he's a
He's the
whiner.
only one.
Say hi, Kade.
Hi. Do you want to say hi?
It's okay to jump in with some facts. And
You
for
can
those
hi-
that are watching this show that have never seen Isle of the Dark before, this is Kade that does Fire Facts. They go live every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. Central. And who's going to be on this week?
D-Runk.
Yep. George is going to be on. It's going to be Isle of the
The
90s.
90s. Guys, I have to say, I have found it vastly amusing looking up 90s trends like Beanie Babies and oxygen bars.
Yeah, you were telling me about all of them. I was like, what?
What's
Don't
worse?
forget Hogs, they're worthless, and they always were.
I still have a pog. I still have one. It has a cool dragon on it.
all the time.
Those little slat bracelets where if you were
Yes, I love those things. Yes.
I got my arm open on one of those before, taking it out of the plastic.
yeah, me too.
Okay, so the worst thing is when she posted for Isle of 90s, she posted a picture of Beanie Babies, and one of her schoolmates who were like, "What are those?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, I am so old."
Now, granted, she's like Kate's
Wait, was it
age,
with a
but
bunch of
still.
Like marks, like
Guys, I had a couple Beanie Babies when I was a kid. It was just like little baby, like just toys. It's like I told you, I am like the perfect middle between modern generation and old school. I hate computers, I hate tablets, but hey, I like action movies.
dude. Oregon Trail is very 90s.
Yeah.
Classic.
Meager rations.
You have died of
buffalo
dysentery.
the whole way. I don't care if you die of cholera or of snake bite. That's natural selection. We're getting to fucking Oregon.
And I'm going to have to admit something. I've never actually played it, but I knew kids back in high school that did. It just
I
shows
was all up on it.
Yeah, my aunt had it on her computer. I was like really bad at it.
I was going to say Dungeons and Dragons. I never played it.
Oh, I have.
Really?
Yeah, but it's making a big comeback. It's
I
huge.
haven't played it either.
Do you guys remember Pogs?
I have a pog. I still have one. It has a
yes.
dragon on it.
That was pretty freaking nice.
Before Pokemon cards came out.
Huh?
What?
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 Said something about Pokemon
No, I'm
cards.
saying
Oh God!
before
Yeah.
Pokemon cards came out,
Pokemon,
I had
Power
cards.
Rangers.
Magic
You know-
the Gathering.
You know
Just
what?
throwing out
Before all of that was Zork.
I've
Y'all remember Zork?
Zork. No, I don't remember
No.
that at all.
So
yeah.
Zork is an old OG text-based game for like the Apple IIe and the IBM 300. We're talking like the computers that had orange and green monitors, and that was like they were monochromatic screens, and it was all text-based. And it was, you have entered into a room. There is a path to the left and to the right.
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Now, if
Do you go north? Do you go
if you-
south?
yes. if you ever played Call of Duty Black Ops, it's the game where the start screen comes up and you're strapped to a chair because your character is like being interrogated. You can get out of that chair, walk around to the terminal behind it, type in Zork, and you'll play Zork right there in the game. They have the whole game of Zork in Call of Duty Black Ops.
Wow.
Yay.
Yeah.
I did not know that. That is
Yeah.
hilarious.
Worthless information piece number 9,643.
Another thing in the 90s too was like the Marvel comic cards, dude.
Oh, those are so good.
I collected the entire Spider-Man set. She has
Nice.
the hologram cards. She has
Yes.
the web cards. Yeah, she's got them all up in a 3-ring binder that her dorky mom put together for her. Yes.
I've got a lot of
um,
sets too, man. And
Oh,
also like
Marvel Masterpiece. Remember those?
oh god, yeah, which series? I have like almost all of them.
The 92 Fear one?
Yeah, no, I have all. Well, my brother collected all the cards, but I have them in comic book form. I have 4 of them that shows like all the cards. Yeah.
Oh, the prints. Oh,
Yes.
yeah, it's talking about the placard prints. Yeah.
Yes.
And what's funny is when we go to our LCS, we see some of the Spider-Man cards that we have,
In their glass case.
and they're selling for high money. And we're like, got them
Can
already.
you just send me some pictures of what you've got? Because I can show you what I've got.
Yeah.
I can,
I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
Oh, yeah. I've got
What
some.
time
After
show
the
we
show,
are?
Caroline. That's for after the show.
That's the after party.
I just see Kirk's eyebrows go.
Also,
Good night, everybody.
like X-Men
I think
animated
this is the time for
series.
the disclaimer. Not near mid,
Not
just
near
for
mid.
18 and over.
You know, we're lucky. We didn't get kicked out for booty hole braid, but we might get shut down now.
Like the X-Men animated cartoon series, you know, that was kind of a big deal, right?
Oh yeah,
It's very 90s.
Spider-Man animated series.
Spider-Man. Yep.
Just saying,
Mhm.
that was my childhood in a nutshell.
Basically, that is her child in a nutshell. Yeah.
Ooh, fucking Dragon Ball Z.
Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
Batman the animated series.
Batman the animated series, Justice
Superman,
League,
Justice League.
Superman, all of those. Yep.
I could never get into Dragon Ball Z. I'm sorry. Couldn't do it. What's funny is I
Animated
worked
series.
her with Power Rangers for a while.
Power Rangers is terrible. I'm sorry.
I hate that
Uh,
crap.
if you like animated, a little bit of recent nerd news that just got dropped today. Stan Sakai's Usagi Yojimbo is coming to Netflix as an animated series.
I'm so confused about that.
Yeah, he's a samurai. He's a samurai rabbit, and it's cooler than it sounds. You're-
Easter Bunny from Rise of the Guardians was cool. I mean,
I have some Usagi I can send you
Yeah.
guys.
It's his voice. So
Yeah. So anyway, sorry. I was excited. I wanted to talk about that. I imagine, Rina, you have not heard of Usagi Yojimbo. That face that you responded with was definitely what's that?
Rob just straight up gets up and leaves.
Right, yeah. He's going to get a comic. I guarantee he's going to get a comic.
yeah, Batman Beyond was pretty good. It
Yeah.
was tough seeing Bruce old though.
Yes.
Old and crotchety.
Yes. Although, how about those rumors about Michael Keaton coming back to play? Look at that, Usagi. That's a Fantagraphics copy, isn't it?
Yep.
That's nice. Those Fanta books are tough to come by, man. Number 1, beautiful, beautiful. You know, those Fantagraphic books have print runs like the big print runs are like 4,500.
Dang.
Wow.
Yeah, they do not do a lot of they do not print a lot. If you see a Fantagraphics book in a back issue bin and it's cheap, always buy it. I never pass them up.
I think like the last issue's 126 or 127, but the last issue's worth like 3 times as much as the first.
Yep. Because there's barely any of them. Right.
Dudes.
Right. A couple thousand.
Oh, I guess should we wrap up?
I gotta work early.
Yeah.
I'm
So
rappable.
do I.
I think that's all good because we've been going about an hour and 38. So I'm going to do what we always do. And it's not the what's in the briefcase because who wants to see the same books over and over? And the fuck you covers, I'm getting the real ones tomorrow. These are the holdovers until.
Put 'em on
Show one of them, for in case anybody hasn't seen them. Because I want to just take
Show
2
'em anyway.
minutes of the night and bitch about them real quick, if y'all don't mind. Now listen,
No, Rob, can you pick one out of the group?
they're all so amazing. They're all so stunning.
Oh yeah,
Colors.
totally. So I'm going to take out the DC stuff here, which the Catwoman did wind up. Oh, sure, you might want this. It's the first appearance of the new Catwoman in the new Catwoman issue 23. The A cover actually has her on the cover.
It's got. Do you know why that book's going to blow up?
Why?
Now, first of all, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to buy that book. Both creators are very much entangled with a group of online hate members that I'm not getting involved with.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So, but it's going to be the return of one of the worst villains in DC history.
Kite Man?
Oh, yes. No.
Kite Man's awesome. Snowflame.
Kite Man is awesome. Yes.
Snowflame comes back in Catwoman. Snowflame is the cocaine-powered supervillain from New Guardians.
Never heard of
Me
him.
neither.
Oh.
I've heard of Kite Man.
Only made one appearance. It was
Yep.
a $1 book until a couple weeks ago. Now it's $35. It's New
Right.
Guardians, like what? Issue 2 or 3 or something?
Two.
There you go.
Yeah.
$30 book now. But meanwhile, these are the covers.
Look how spectacular those are. A lot of imagination.
Oh, even
Can you
worse
turn that
is
book
that
in back to the actual cover?
what's that?
Can you turn that book back in for the actual cover, or is that what you do?
That's what I'm saying. I went to 2 shops today because my shop, they ran out of, they didn't get any of the Marvels. They only got in DC. Marvel, he'll get into Marvel tomorrow. But since I'm a little worried about getting skipped on something, I don't want to have to run around during COVID to try and find a book.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, I'll make do with these.
So this is Marvel's. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying all of them say the same thing and they just have a different symbol. And it's just here to tell you, hey guys, we're sticking with Diamond. So we're the douchebag, or the other people are the douchebag and we're the good guy. All it's saying to me is we want to look good to the people that are putting our books out, but meanwhile they just look like assholes.
Yeah, that's facts right there. So the whole thing here, I think if you've watched the show, everybody's heard me complain about Diamond lately. This is a good reason to complain about Diamond and Marvel's relationship with them. Bear in mind, the reason Diamond had a monopoly for the last 2.5 decades is because of Marvel's mismanagement. But here they are, basically getting down and licking those boots. And saying, oh, thank you, Steve Geppi, for distributing our books again and paying us the money you owe us. Oh, here, look, we're going to make these special covers. So I'm sorry, that might be a little virulent, but they're ugly, they're dumb, and they're a cheap shot that's not worth it.
I agree.
I have a thought, and you guys tell me if you think this is a good idea. Being that this show has hit 500 subscribers, and I can't say, thank you, I did it. No, it's you three, it's me combined, it's mostly Lady Fantastic, it's mostly Miracleman, it's mostly Comics on the Mind. I'm just kind of here to help facilitate. But
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
And really give a hand for yourselves, because it's you guys and the viewers at home that watch this. Give yourself a applause. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for participating. Now, here's my thought, and you tell me what you think. This is a slightly damaged copy that came in today, and being that the name of our show is Not Near Mint, and this is the Not Near Mint crew, but so my idea is I'm going to write on here, fuck you, signed Rob Wurst. And then I'll send this one over in the next time I send a package over to Lady Fantastic. And then she can send that on over to Comics on the Mind, and then can send on over to Miracleman. And then we'll all come together to send this book out to one of our fans, which I can't believe there's actually fans of our show, but there are. So
hate watchers. They're all hate watchers.
Do you think that's a good idea? In the chat, let us know in the comments. Should we sign this? Fuck you. Send it to each other and then send it to one lucky person where they can send it in for grading. It's probably going to be an 8.5. And hey, Not Near Mint. That's us. That's our show. So what we do at the very end here is go around the room and say, hey, why don't you go ahead and promote yourself? And we'll start with our very dear guest of the week. Oh, that's not tip of the week. It's promote yourself. There we go. Guess
Promote self. Okay. So I did want to say that Isle of the Dark is still available for sale. Usually you just want to go to my website, isleofthedark.com. It's a lot better. And then the Wattpad story, if you guys go to my Instagram, the link is there as well, and it just takes you straight to the story if you would like to read on it and read it and comment on it. So that's what I was trying to do.
And follow her. Follow.
Because it does actually work like YouTube. If I get like a certain following, I can put like advertisements between chapters that just kind of pop up for you to click out of. Yeah, that's how I get money off that.
Oh, snap. Join today.
So you don't have to pay to read it, but I do eventually get money if I get sponsored. So I mean, and then we have Isle of 90s coming up this Saturday with D-Runk George. So please come watch us. I have a feeling it's just going to be a lot of fun with all the teasing we've done with it already.
I have a couple things coming up too.
Oh, okay.
What else do you have?
I was going to say if you want to see all my stuff, I promote.
Has a list, an actual list.
Hey, you have a special guest star behind you.
I know he's trying to get the cat.
I'm trying to get him to. The cat is attacking my toes, so I'm like, hey, come get your cat.
And then if you just want updates, I post updates and advertising and all kinds of stuff on my Instagram. So if you want to follow my Instagram, I post just about everything there. So, okay, what's up with you?
Well, we are going to be doing our Around the World series.
That's
we already did the one Around the World series, which was Words Around the World, where I had Simple Simon and the Gray Man and Metarog, where they talked about the way we say things differently around the world. Well, this time we're doing food around the world. So we're going to have glitter and duct tape. We're going to have Graham, Simon, Roger. We're going to have. I may cook a dog. I may cook a dog. Who else are we going to have?
You invited
Zen. Yes. Andre is going to be on. It's going to be a lot of fun. So that's my project that I'm working on is food around the world. There you go.
There we go. I think that's it. Just a bunch of writing stuff.
And a reminder to those at home. They coined it tonight. Rule number 2, don't be a dick.
I like it too. I like it.
Welcome to Not Near Mint, everybody.
If we get T-shirts made, it's going to say Not Near Mint on one side and don't be a dick on the other.
You can just have Not Near Mint and then rules as they accumulate on the back.
We're getting there.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
So let's see here. Who else do we got? Do we want to go to the person that probably leave to go to bed? We're going to go to Lady Fantastic. Promote yourself.
So I just put out a video today. I am going to be doing a 500 subscriber contest giveaway. So there are some requirements that are detailed in the video, but you have an opportunity to win free books or a slab, and that's always a win, right, dude? That's cool. So check out Lady Fantastic YouTube and give it a go. Write me a poem.
A haiku specifically. And for those at home that don't know how to do a haiku, what is a haiku?
It's a poem that has a very specific construction or like form. and there are different types. The one I'm choosing is a 575 syllables. It's Asian, I think Japanese, and where? Well, I don't know, man. It's a poem, dude. I deleted it.
5 iambic pentameter. Syllables. Think syllables, everybody.
You don't necessarily have to have the iambic pentameter, because that's like a one syllable is like and the other is like a stress. I'm not gonna be like that strict, but fucking do 575 in terms of syllables.
Yeah, we're not being, or she's not being that strict because we're following rule number 2.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be. I'm not gonna be a dick.
All right, so go ahead, promote yourself. Next up, we got Mind Shift. I know that you're doing a show with teachers, so why don't you go ahead and let us know what that is?
Yes, I just started doing a show with Gorilla Tide Comics every Thursday. It's called The Teacher Lounge. You don't necessarily have to be a teacher to be on our show, but we're going to eventually start promoting to the community and bringing people on and just talk about certain topics. I'm not sure what we're going to be talking about tomorrow, but we do our show every Thursday at 9 West Coast time. So I know it's a little late for people on the East Coast, but if you could show up or watch on the rewind, come check us out. It's a really good show. But besides that, I don't have anything else, coming up anytime soon. I'm working on Smart, so I'm hoping to finish that by the end of the week and post it. So, yeah, and a lot of reading.
Because reading is fundamental. I think. I don't know. I heard that back during the he could read. So moving on to last but certainly not least, Miracleman.
So I'm the boringest member of the Not Near Men crew. I don't do a whole lot of nothing except for this show every Wednesday night, and I occasionally do the Twitters. If you want to come on by there and say hi, it's at Komodo1977. We can talk about comics. We can dunk on chuds together, one of my favorite pastimes. We can talk about comics while dunking on chuds, because those usually go hand in hand.
I don't even know what that means.
A chud? A chud is you know what? I'm not even going to tell you, because it's a blessing that you don't know what a chud is.
You really don't want to know what it is.
Nah,
Okay.
Trolls.
Internet trolls. What? So chud is just is a nice little nickname we've given them.
It's okay. They're not real people.
Right. They're not real people. Anyway, so that's basically what I do. So if you want to come by and talk about comics, I post comics on there fairly regularly. New pickups always go on there, but I'm also occasionally pulling out long boxes and doing what's in the box and posting those up. Just pulling them out and showing you what we got in there. And I'm a big Jack Kirby fan. If you want to come over and talk about Jack Kirby and how every single story he ever told ended with how he once killed 4 Nazis in the war, feel free to come on over and let's talk about that too.
All right. And we just earned ourselves a new subscriber with Magic Cave. So hell yeah. Good to have you, man. Thank you so much for checking us out for our first episode for you. Because for everybody out there, you might have watched this a couple times before in your past, but for some people, CBS said it long ago. If you haven't seen it, it's new to you. So this has been our episode. Thank you very much for coming, everybody. My name is Rob Worst. You can find me on Twitter at Rob Worst. You can find me on Instagram at Rob Worst. Now, my local comic shop will be having a claim sale this Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. If you want to know where I wind up getting all these awesome things here, that's where I get a good chunk of them. So do check him out on Instagram at Miami Fresh Comics. And if it doesn't show up there, he might wind up streaming it through Magic City Comics. Sub them up both on Instagram. Now, otherwise, I did say at the beginning of the show that I did get a package. So this is very quick. I already had it cut. So let's take a look and see what's inside. Now, I have it all put out here, and this is from J. Monty Comics. You can sub him up over on Instagram. He has a nice little thing here that says, Rob, thanks for watching J. Monty Comics. congrats. I hope you enjoy the comics. He got his first 100 subscribers on Instagram, so congratulations. And his contest was Once and Future. So I do know there's one of those in here, and I have not read Once and Future, so I guess now I'm going to have to pick it up with all the rest of you. So here's some tabs. And if there's anything I have doubles of, maybe it'll be part of my giveaway. So I already cut everything to make this easy. So let's flip the, oh, here we go. All right, so here's the Once and Future issue 1. Thank you
Nice.
so much, J Monty Comics on Instagram. You also sent me Hellstrom, number 1. They'll go
Very cool.
very nice.
Wow, that's a great book.
Ooh, this will go really nicely with this. Right. If only I could do that Venom number 3, right?
Like knew where it was. Yes.
Slick.
He knows where all his books are.
I do. It's important to catalog and know where all your stuff is, because if you ever have to do comic gories, you don't want to have to be like Comic Head in the last episode where he was still over there. He was almost about to pull something and you're out of time.
Oof.
Oof.
There's that one. And was there one more? Yes, there was one more. This She-Hulk Venomized cover.
Nice.
Ooh, that is so awesome.
Very much to J Monty's Comics. Let's see here. I think that pretty much sums up our show. So down here, I'm going to close out the show by playing our closing theme song. So we will be back next week, our regular time, 10 p.m. Eastern time. This is the Not Near Mint crew. So good night, everybody.
Good
Bye,
night.
everybody. We love you.
All right, let's go ahead and pop this screen up and let's see what happens from here.
Thanks for tuning in. If you want to see this episode again, along with a catalog of back episodes and issues, surf on over to Not Near Mint on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. Rob Wurst, Lady Fantastic, Miracleman, and Comics on the Mind will be back next week. Same time, Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Not Near Mint.